Okay, good morning. Just taking a short break here to answer a question from Christy. The question is, men have more testosterone than women, therefore they are able to work longer and harder throughout the day. Is that true? And I'm thinking about this, it's like, first of all, we have to, when we say the word true, what does that mean? And I think the best definition, it's similar to do with, well, some of it's wisdom, but the reality is men have more testosterone than women. Yes, that's true. Do all men have more testosterone than women? No. There are some women that have more testosterone than men. So generally speaking, most of the time, yes, that's true. Men have more testosterone than women. And that's kind of like wisdom. Wisdom looks at the way things actually are. You pay attention to what's going on, and then you make decisions and judgments, and you discriminate based on the facts and the evidence and the way things actually are. And that's what we, when you say true, so I'd say yes, it is, but there's exceptions. But wisdom doesn't focus on the exceptions. Wisdom knows that the exceptions are out there, but wisdom doesn't focus on the exceptions. You have to deal with the way things are most of the time. So if they have more testosterone than women, do they work longer and harder? Generally speaking, yes. However, there's something that's way more important than testosterone when it comes to working hard and longer and, being driven and competent. And that has to do with desire. What is your desire? What is your why? What is the promise? What's the meaning that comes to your day? And so you give me a person with a big desire or a big why, a big meaning, that's a BHAG, as they say in graduate school, a big, hairy, audacious goal that's meaningful to you and inspiring to you, that person is going to work circles around the person without a goal. They could have 10 times the testosterone, but if they don't have that meaning or that reason why, they're not going to work like that other person does. So the meaning and the why and the desire, that desire is key. The desire is the most important thing, I think, in terms of why you're doing what you're doing. So looking at men and women in that situation, women I don't think understand this today, or if they do, it's not talked about that much in society, but women have the unique ability to breathe life or death into another human being, especially men. Women don't understand the power that they have over men. And a woman's look or a word, they can just breathe life into a man, and he will absolutely serve and die for that woman. And, that's why men are in the military almost, entirely. It's a huge percentage of men is because men will serve and die. That's why it's called the service. They will serve and die for the things they love. And so basically, if you've got a guy that's not doing anything, he's not motivated, he's not working hard, he's just kind of going through the motions, I can guarantee you that there's a woman somewhere in his life that have absolutely demoralized him or shamed him or made him feel like a loser. And basically, he got to the point where he's like, screw this. I mean, what the heck? I don't want to be, putting up with this crap anymore. And that's what happens. But a woman comes into his life, breathes life into him, makes him feel like a man. I mean, you're my hero. You can do this. When a guy senses that a woman is on his side like that, he will go through all sorts of barriers and walls to get that goal, to make it happen. And he will serve and die. Now, women generally don't do that. If you ask women, generally speaking, most of the time, are you more likely to die for your husband, or would you more likely to die for your child? And most women would say, hell no, I'm not dying for that man, but they would absolutely die for their child. The child is way more important than the man. And the men sense this. They know as soon as a child comes into the arrangement, men feel like a second, third class citizen because the women give all the time to the child. They're like, dude, you're a grown man, you should just deal with it. But the opposite is true, because if you ask a man, would you rather die for your child or die for your wife? Most men would say, I'm going to die for my wife before I died for my child. Shoot, I can make another one to you, but I want the woman I love. And so that's where their priority is. So it's a great question, Christy. I'm glad you asked that. I hope that was helpful. In a nutshell, yes, men do have more testosterone than women, and most of the time. And I said, yes, men generally work longer and harder because of that testosterone level. But that's not the only answer. The bigger question and answer there is, what is your why? Remember, if the promise is clear, you will pay any price, and you will overcome all sorts of barriers to get there. So, if you like the YouTube, like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to forward them on. And Christy, thank you for the question. This is the Big Kahuna. Have a great day.